Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you once again with another No Frills American Idol commentary from a singer. So we are up to the top four, baby. It is showtime, and it's only 2 more weeks to go after this. So let's get right into it. This week they did songs that inspire for their first set of songs, and their second set were songs by Lieber and Stoller. Lady Gaga was mentoring. Of course, I don't think they could afford her for the first half of the show because she only mentored for the second half of the show. So maybe there was something going on with that. Maybe they wasn't paying enough or something. I don't know what was happening. But whatever, she was only mentoring for the second half of the show for the Lieber and Stoller songs. And in the beginning, they did a collage of like the old idols going home, because I think in top 3 they all went home. So this is like another milestone for them. So whoever doesn't make it to the next round doesn't get to go home as like the conquering hero and all that good stuff. So James came out with, they introduced everybody. They introduced the judges, and then Ryan comes down the steps, in grand fashion. And then Ryan introduced the contestants, and as they were coming out, I noticed that James tripped over Lauren's dress, and I was just like, it was just so random and funny to me that I was like, what is she doing? I was like, what is she wearing? And she had on this thing with this train, and oh Lord. So anyway, she was out. She's ready to go to the pageant. But we started out with the first round. Again, the first round is songs that inspire. And James Durbin was the first one to sing, and he did "Don't Stop Believin" by Journey. And I thought he did a great job on it. Let me say that. Just the perfect song choice for him, for his genre, for his voice. But also, he really just is so comfortable now on stage that he's just there giving his performances every time he gets up to perform. And it's very good to see, because it's like no pressure and it's like no stress. He's just there doing his thing, and it makes me feel comfortable watching him, just to know that he is like in that space where he's just giving me his best performance that he can give. Now, as far as the notes and everything like this song, I'll tell you, "Don't Stop Believin'," I think on like 90% of the gigs, it's one of the last songs that we do. So I hear it just about every single week, sometimes a few times a week. He did a wonderful job on it. He had a tendency, especially in the beginning, to hold out some of the notes a little too long, and they started to wobble and go flat or whatever. But when he hit his stride and really got into the song, he was just sailing. He was doing perfect. He got the high notes perfect, and the last big 3 notes, he nailed them to the cross. Let me tell you. To the cross, I tell you, it was wonderful. It was just wonderful to watch and to listen to. So Haley, for her song that inspired her, chose Earth Song by Michael Jackson, which I thought was an interesting choice. I thought that she did a good job in the very beginning of the song. She was sitting down like kind of on the steps, and I liked it was like a cry or pleading in her voice that was very good, very well fit for her and for the song. But then the choir came in, she stood up to do the What About section. I call it the What About section. And it just sounded to me like she was screechy. I know she has it in her voice, and I don't know if for some reason she was pushing, but it sounded that way. And they even played it back at the end, and it still sounded like she was screechy, like she was pushing, like she was hollering almost. And the judges, Randy and J-Lo, also pretty much agreed with what I'm saying. And I do my commentary before I listen to them. So, but anyway, but it come off to me as she was kind of screechy, and that just wasn't enjoyable. I thought she could have either done the song better or chosen a different song. Scotty McCreery does "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning" by Alan Jackson. And you know what? I said he went for the jugular. I mean, he just really cut straight to the bone. He picked up the guitar, just sat there and just sang in the Scotty way, giving us that voice. No extras, no reaching for anything special, just relating the lyrics, relating the story. And I found myself just listening to the purity of his voice and listening to them give me this story, this very, very touching story, almost to the point of tears. It was very touching. It was very beautiful. It was a perfect song choice for the songs of inspiration, but it was a perfect song choice for those of us in America who lived through that time. And it was just, all the judges had tears, little moisture in their eyes, and so did Scotty and many of the people in the audience. It was just beautiful, and again, a perfect song choice. Lauren Alaina does Do It Anyway by Martina McBride. And let me tell you, the contestants really were going for it in this round. I would say especially 3 of them. And this was no different. She sounded wonderful in this song, better than I think I've heard her sound in a while. She looked gorgeous, and she was just going for it. The song just set very well in her voice, and I really enjoyed it as far as the performance. And afterwards, you know, she struck me as such a goofy little kid that is very endearing. You know, she is one that is growing on me, just like Scotty. They are very much growing on me. And I think this is the thing that Idol excels at, putting these people before you and kind of having you fall in love with them as performers and also as people, to love their quirks as well as their, you know, their voice. Yeah, so anyway, her performance was excellent, just excellent. Now we come to the second half, or round 2 as they called it. Ryan brought out all the contestants before round 2 started and asked who won the round, you know, and J-Lo gave the very diplomatic, you know, everybody did la 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 this and the other, but Randy had to get on had to get on poor Haley, and Haley was just not feeling. She was giving major attitude, and you know, I was just twittering. I was like, okay, it's all right to be sassy and talk back a little bit, but don't be a, you know, don't take it there. You know, you are here to perform and to do your thing, and the audience likes a little sassy, but if you cross that line, they will turn against you quickly. Did you turn against her because of the way she was acting? Well, if you did, let me tell you, the Lieber and Stoller round was up next. Lady Gaga was there to do her mentoring. And you know what? Not unsurprisingly, because I am not surprised at all, that she gave a lot of great advice to each and every one of these contestants, stuff that they could use personally for their performance, and I think it improved each of their performances. The advice she gave to Haley Reinhart, who was doing I Who Have Nothing, really was just to get into this character and really give it some dramatic effect. Now, I don't think that Haley really carried out a lot of like the breaths and stuff that she was saying to really take. She could have done a lot more that way, but the intent was there and the voice was there. The drama was there, you know, and the performance came off excellently. She got a standing ovation from the judges. They were just praising her up, down, and sideways because it was a wonderful performance. It had a lot of energy, and she has wonderful vocals. Nobody disagrees with that as far as I know. But it just had a wonderful energy, and it had intent, it had purpose, it had drama, and it had a good effect on the audience and on me likewise. Now let me tell you guys real quickly, Lieber and Stoller songs are very familiar to me because I did 2 tours of Smokey Joe's Cafe. I did a production outside of Louisville, Kentucky, plus I did a tour of it to Europe and Brazil. You know, so I got to sing and to hear these songs over and over and over for months and weeks, sometimes 8 shows a week. So I'm very familiar with these songs, and I was happy to hear that they were doing them because then I can really get some in-depth into the songs. And I thought this I Who Have Nothing was the perfect choice for her voice because it's a big, powerful song, but it also has that nice little something that you can give to it, those little dramatic flares that you can give to it. And I thought it was perfect for Haley's voice, and I thought she did a great job at it. So you know I'm not much about talking about the contestants' clothes, but Lady Gaga had on this Cleopatra-inspired look with this huge mole and this headpiece that when she was walking, I was writing like, it looks like she's in a neck brace the way that she's moving. I mean, she looked fabulous, but I would say, you know what, fashion does not feel good right now because it was just, it looked uncomfortable. Every time she got up to move, every time she walked, it just looked uncomfortable. What did you guys think of it? Hey, I'm not the fashionista, but I am here in New York and I have a decent fashion sense. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. I want to know what you thought about it. Scotty McCreery did Youngblood, and Gaga gave him some great advice on his mic technique, because he likes to hold his mic to the side, and I have a video called Microphone Technique that you can check out later, where I give pretty much the same advice as how you have to sing into the mic in order to get the best sound. And he was up off the mic and he likes to put it to the side, and she was telling him, eat the mic. I mean, basically she was saying kiss, but it's always eat the mic, get it right up there. So she gave him that advice in her special way, and I think he got it, because during the performance he did exactly that. He was eating the mic, he was very much hearable, audible, and the performance came off better than I think it would have if he would have been doing what he usually does, which is about around here somewhere or around here somewhere. But as far as the vocals, I thought that it was to me it was more funny than fun. I keep calling him Gomer Pyle because he is so goofy to me. But it was an okay performance. I didn't think it was great. He did have some nice highs and lows. He showed a nice amount of range for Scotty, but I just didn't think he did a whole lot with the song. Yeah, vocally. Lauren Alaina does Trouble. Now, at first I thought she was gonna do Woman, okay? But she did Trouble, and Lady Gaga gave her advice to get into this character, and she gave her some private advice that they did not talk about on the camera, so I can't say what it was. I don't know what it was, but the girl didn't want to say this word evil. She didn't want to call herself evil, and Gaga on camera was saying, you have to get into the character. This isn't about you, it's about the character. And I guess she gave her some other advice and she played with it a little bit. But let me tell you, when Lauren hit that stage, I was like, she tore Trouble. She did Trouble. And she was Trouble, okay? She looked more mature. She sounded amazing, especially in the first part of the song. The first part of the song was off the charts to me. The second part was okay, and at the ending it got a little muddled. But the first part of the song was like, this is where this girl could be in a year or two. She was amazing in the first part of the song. And I just really, really enjoyed it. And her voice throughout the song, she had just let loose. She was having more fun than thinking about her voice. And she was doing she was doing some Haley blues notes and things up in there. I mean, she was ripping it. And I enjoyed it, especially the first half. First half I was screaming. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Y'all know how I do. If you know me, you know how I do. I was just like screaming for her because she was really ripping it, and it was like she was in character. She just was totally not little sweet girl Haley. She was Trouble. And I really enjoyed it. James Durbin doing Love Potion #9 was an interesting choice, and Gaga was trying to get him to move his hips and stuff like that to get the song into his body, which is wonderful, amazing, okay, advice. It really is. Let me tell you how many times you really have to get it into you. It can't just be up here. It has to be throughout your body in order for you really to feel the song and to put it across, in a way that someone else can actually get the passion of it that you're trying to bring across. But besides that, James Durbin, I don't think he followed really Gaga's notes, but because he was walking up and down the steps a lot. They put a little platform, almost a little soapbox up in the front of the stage for him to be up on and to sing, but he kind of like got on it and jumped right off of it, so I guess he was going to do his moves there, but he did not do any of that. But let me tell you what he did do. He ripped this song so great. I don't know if I'm saying it enough today, but these performances today were some of the best performances of the season for any of these contestants. And James was no exception. He ripped this song from top to bottom. He sounded great. He made a nice few little changes. He had put it into his own little rock rhythm, 2 guitars, and they had the fireworks going off in the back, but the vocals were just there, dead on, and the intent, the passion was all there. And at the end, it was just like he was the headliner of the American Idol concert, because he just brought the show down. He had 2 false endings. You know, he just ruled the stage like a seasoned professional. And it just brought the night to a close for me, to where I can be excited half the night for every single one of these performances. What did you guys think of these performances? Did you enjoy them as much as I did? I know I am a singer and I perform weekly, you know, and live performance, and I get excited when I see somebody else really doing their thing. And many of the contestants, as you can see, excited me tonight. So it's going to be really hard to see who is going to be in the bottom 2 and who is going home. What do you think? Who is your best and who do you think is going home? Those are my 2 questions for you. I am Robert Anton, robertanton.com. Check out my originals playlist here, right here on YouTube. And you can also, if you're a singer or performer, check out my So You Want to Be a Singer series. I think I have about 88 videos teaching you how to become a professional performer, singer, artist. I'm out. Peace.